Hello and welcome to the Full Time Ultras. We have just concluded game week number 28 of the Premier League, and we have an action packed lineup here to review the game week that just went by. And with me on the panel today, I have Riku, our in house Liverpool fan, who seems to be happy. And we have Gogol, our Chelsea fan. Uh, and yes, after a dramatic win against Newcastle,
A very rare
Finally,
win.
I'm featuring on the podcast after Chelsea won a game, so
Oh
yes.
my God.
in style too.
आज
So yeah,
आज
on
डिस्कस होगा
on
ये विन कितने दिन तक सेलिब्रेट करेगा वो.
yes. How long do we celebrate one win before the
भाई
next win?
इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक है भाई.
गूगल अभी बेल्जियम फैन है भाई. उधर भी दर्द भाई.
नहीं अभी हजार्ड गया अभी नो मोर बेल्जियम फैन.
अरे अरे. Now is Sunil
But
Chhetri बात.
yes, bleed blue. But how was the week, Riku? How was the week for you?
Um, Amazing F1 race. Very mediocre Liverpool City game. But
मीडियोकर.
yeah,
अबे गेम तो सही था. तुम
उल्टा
लोग
उल्टा बोल
मीडियोकर
रहे.
थे बट ठीक है.
Guys, sarcasm था वो, but ठीक है. That it was actually the opposite. What a what an amazing game. I think one of the that was probably the best advert for Liverpool, no doubt. For Premier League. I mean, if anybody wants to, if anybody was watching Premier League for the first time and that was the first game they watched, I mean that was it. That was the game to watch. And yeah, I think rest of it, I think before the call, Google summarized it well. That why am I so happy even after we being the only top six club not winning the game, winning in this game week, but I'm still very happy with the performance. So yeah, how was your
Yeah, for
weekend?
sure.
Did you miss Ramsdale?
Yeah, we really missed Ramsdale. No, I think he had one opportunity, and I think Thomas Frank also met him after the game, and he was like, "Oh, it's not your fault. It could have happened to anyone, that error." But I think he balanced it out with some good saves as well. But I'm very glad that Brentford games are over, which means Raya is back.
All almost dropped the title. Almost.
Yes, almost. It was like that moment when
Gerrard slipped.
we
Yes,
Gerard
any
slipped.
excuse
Yes.
to bring back the Gerrard slip.
uh, but
हाँ.
yeah, I think a good game overall. I think we showed perseverance and more importantly, finally clinched that. Like there have been moments in this season where we came out of such a game with a draw. But after the recent amazing run of games, I think this was pretty good to come out with 3 points.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
चलो चलो.
Speaking of 3 points, Google, how were the three Chelsea goals?
नहीं नहीं we'll get to that later. Let's start with the biggest game of probably this season.
Yeah,
City Liverpool.
yeah.
Was this the decider?
भाई तुम भूल क्यों जाते हो अभी भी टेबल के टॉप
And
पे आर्सेनल है.
हाँ, but I
yes,
mean,
boys.
Arsenal is going to drop points. I mean, for sure.
The thing is, we've
True.
been
Yeah, I think.
saying that since game week 1, game week 5, game week 10, 28 पे आ
But
गए,
okay,
Arsenal are still top
okay.
of the table.
So tell me, with this heated a title race, do you really think Arsenal can, given the past
I
5 years
mean,
record,
they just
we've
defeated
been
you 3-1 a couple of months
yeah,
ago.
No,
before
no.
that before
Let's
that we
let's hear him
defeated them
out.
twice. Before that we
Yeah.
defeated them twice and
One
defeated
of one of which was FA Cup, but fine. Let's count. Okay,
हाँ
go ahead.
मतलब हरा है ना
Actually,
वही
by the
that's
way, first leg we drew in this season.
हाँ so draw
Yeah,
win ठीक है चल हो गया
yeah,
ठीक है.
fine. Yeah,
Okay, now the point
but
is,
what's yeah,
yeah, the point is in the past 5 seasons, a team which has won the league needed at least 90 points. Today, Arsenal is at 64. Do you really think they can get 26 more points in the next how many games? I
10
mean,
games, so 30 points a
ten
game.
games.
10 games in, can they really get 36 points in the next
Can you guys
10
get
games?
36, 26 points?
Yeah,
Oh wait, you can't get 36 points in
You
10 games.
can't,
20,
No.
yeah,
Sorry.
you
no,
can't
no,
mathematically get it.
20, sorry,
it's
26. नहीं,
26. You need
हाँ,
26.
26, yeah, 26
भाई
in
सबका
10.
मैथ इतना खराब है. I'm just glad that none of us are in school anymore.
भाई थैंक गॉड राघव नहीं
कहाँ
है
पे
इसमें, नहीं तो
कैलकुलेटर यूज कर सकते हैं गाइस.
वो बोलता 6 पॉइंट 5 गेम में. हाँ, but
But
can they really get 26 points in 10 games? Do you really think they have the horsepower?
so we can only manage to lose one, you're saying,
Lose
right?
lose one,
Afford
lose
And
to
draw
one,
lose
one or
and draw one.
yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
But that's the same for you
I'm
guys and City.
But we've
yeah.
done it. But we've been there, done that. Has Arsenal ever done it? When
But
Arsenal do it?
Even
एक second, before Jurgen Klopp came, how many seasons you guys went without even making the top four?
मैं पास्ट 5 पे
चुप हो जा,
रिग्रेशन
ठीक है, चुप
एनालिसिस
हो
कर
जा.
रहा
नहीं
हूँ.
नहीं, रहने दे,
no,
रहने
no,
दे.
no, no, no.
But why am I
But the
supporting
point,
Arsenal? I'm a Chelsea fan. नहीं, सही बोल रहा है.
no, no, you made a good point, which is even before Liverpool could come in that frame of past 5 years regression analysis, they had a big slump. They only had slumps.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm
But I
I'm
think
okay with that.
we've built up to that. I think this is the closest we have as a chance, given the past few seasons. Of course, we'll build from here, and next season could bring something better. But being in two top competitions, I don't want us to lose points, but I won't risk jinxing it. Yeah, anything could happen, guys. So,
चलो चलो. We'll talk about the title race later. Let's get back to the game of the weekend. Man City versus
but
Liverpool. Wait,
right on that. Okay, go on.
we'll get to the title race later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's hear the thought of our in-house Liverpool fan. What did you
On,
make
I
of
mean,
that game?
our game. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going first. Okay, cool. So, I mean, pretty much a solid game. There was no downside for me at all. The entire game, collectively, all 11 players were so good, so good. Except for one, weakness which got projected was decision making in front of the goal. I think I still can't comprehend why did Salah not start this game, and I don't think anybody, I don't think people have spoken much about it. I don't know why, but like even on social media, I don't know why Klopp benched him, and even why Robertson didn't start. I get it that you're injured, but you played like 20 minutes of the midweek Europa game. You've had like minutes in your legs, and you really have to start this bigger game. Okay, huh? Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
We just played 20 minutes in a Europa League game against a shit. नाम भी नहीं मालूम भाई मेरे को वो
Yeah,
टीम
yeah,
का.
but the point
But
is part of
it's a
panel.
big game against City, and he's up against Phil Foden, who's in the form of his life, having the season of his life.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
why would you
See, Gomez
want to
was
just throw him in the deep end when he's just coming back from injury?
no, 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 no. If you compare the intensity of the injury, Robbo was or like the recovery, Robbo was 90%. I would say he was fit to play. There was no issue. I mean, Robbo was.
But
I've seen him in
can
the
you
last two games.
afford to let the 10% go against Phil Foden?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You could have easily because Phil Foden was a lot of threat down the level, right hand side of City against Gomez. He was a genuine threat. So I mean, no doubt about it. So he could have with Robbo. I completely get it that it was not much of a gamble. So with Salah, it was slightly a gamble, but this is the biggest game of the season. How can you not start your best player?
But
Which was a surprise for me. Huh? Go ahead.
I think Salah has only
But
started 2 games this calendar year, hasn't he? For Liverpool.
Yeah,
after
first
the
that was because of the AFCON, and
international
then
AFCON,
and
yeah.
then
But
then the
again,
injury
even
came up.
he's still recovering. भाई खुश रहे, your team is handling injuries so well. Region की तरह एक गेम
And
आके फिर 8 महीना नहीं मिल
more
जाता.
more
I'm not complaining.
importantly, kudos to Klopp also for the management of the game itself with the
No,
players,
no
right?
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. With the players that he had, I mean, guys, he
Yeah.
started Kwanzaa against Haaland. Okay, I mean,
I mean,
and kudos to that guy. What a game he had. He made only one mistake, I remember. I think, which is, I mean, kind of a let off. I think he passed the ball to Alvarez or something, and they
yeah,
got an attack. But that was the only mistake he made. And I get it that Van Dijk literally covered everybody's butt in that game. But
Yeah.
exactly.
even I mean, everybody. He was everywhere. He was on. He played right back, left back, right wing भी खेला एक moment पे मेरे को दिखा था वो. But then he was everywhere, and that's how good he is. I mean, it's a different, he's in a different ball game. He's playing a different ball game
He's got that
altogether. But then,
leadership in himself. He can lead the entire
Yeah,
defense and command the
yeah,
midfield as well. So
yeah,
yeah,
and the long balls to Elliot, bhai, the crossfield balls to Elliot. I mean, pinpoint perfect. I mean, you can't deny that he was. I mean, he was the man of the match. I mean, clearly there was no
yeah.
debate about it. But collectively, Liverpool, and I might sound too biased, but then collectively, Liverpool was a much better team. I feel in this game. I would say it's like a 60-40 kind of a balance. I would say Liverpool had the
In
upper
fact,
hand.
I would even go as far as to say it was maybe a 70-30. Like coming to okay,
second
so my
half,
perspective
clearly,
is yeah, and
clearly it
it
was
was
Liverpool all the way.
there were moments where I felt Liverpool should have won it, to be honest. So I'm
They
Exactly.
should have.
surprised you're happy with the draw. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. It's a good result. It's a good decent result. Fine, but I think Liverpool should have won it the way they played, especially that second half.
Liverpool should have won it, and that's why the decision making in front of the goal was a kind of a mishap. Because yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if you saw Diaz, he made some errors. Even
yeah,
Gakpo decided to pass it when there was no pass. He should have clearly taken a shot. He
yeah.
passed it to Salah, and then Salah thought to like appeal
Fumbled.
for a penalty. But whatever. I mean, you can't not take your chances at at those in those moments. But even the first half, I think people don't give credit to Liverpool for the first half. Whatever I've read, but I feel they were solid enough. It's just that the goal that we let in, I mean, there was that moment of lapse, I think, was the only error from our part. And of course, there were few chances where, Doku, of course, and another surprise. I don't know why Doku didn't start. You had a inexperienced right hand side of Liverpool, which was packed with Bradley, I think Soboslai and Elliott. So you could have easily started Doku and beaten
And
anybody with
I
pace.
think that was a fair decision by Pep. Watching the Manchester derby last weekend, Doku,
Hmm.
Yeah,
he was playing like prime Raghav at PPFC turf.
Oh,
Like,
goat,
like
goat.
he couldn't complete a dribble, he couldn't complete a pass. His decision making was awful last weekend. So I think that was a reaction by Pep to that weekend,
I
to
think
that game.
and he
the
didn't
last,
do that. I mean, he was okay against Liverpool in that sense.
yeah, he
Much
was,
improved performance compared to the Manchester derby, but then
Yeah,
yeah, he still didn't have that much of
yeah,
an impact. He had a very clear chance. I remember
yeah.
one on one with Kwanzaa, I
He
think
hit the post.
he hit the post.
he
He
hit the post.
Yeah. So, but
But
yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
why
I
do
think
I
it
feel that
was.
Gogol's rant? Why do I feel Gogol's rant was more against Raghav than Doku for some reason?
नहीं नहीं नहीं
Like भाई
नहीं
थोड़ा राघव को
राघव
इंसल्ट कर लेता
फुल
हूँ यही मेरा
सपोर्ट
5 सेकंड है.
भाई 15 साल से करता आ रहा हूँ सो हैव टू कंटिन्यू डूइंग दैट
Yeah, the consistency has to be there.
Traditions.
ट्रेडिशंस
Hmm.
यस द क्यू
Yes.
कोटास में शांत कर देना
But okay. To speak of what's next, right? Just in conclusion, Riku, you guys are playing Brighton next. I think in the league after the international break and
Are
whatever.
we?
So yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Brighton at home for you guys.
Okay.
You have FA Cup quarterfinals
Hmm.
against United. That's 17th
Uh,
March, and
yeah.
31st March you guys are playing Brighton at home.
Oh, the weekend you guys are playing City. Okay, okay.
Yes. So our next game is City. Your next game is Brighton,
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
and I think yeah, yeah. So another interesting game week coming up, but in some weeks from now.
And
But what do you
and
think about? Yeah.
And the best part is Liverpool is playing first. Liverpool is playing before you guys. So if we win, it's
Oh
going to be a
yes,
massive advantage. Again, what Arsenal
yes,
had, right? And I feel Arsenal
yes.
City will get a result. At Etihad, it will definitely get a result. It will get a, 3 points to either one of the teams. And
this
I
will be
will
Really?
one
go
of
for
those games
it.
I
It will be
think
because
Liverpool
now they,
City you can still bet on a draw but
yeah.
Hmm.
Arsenal City with the kind of football both teams are playing I think there's going to be a battle
Yeah.
And
I
and
wish
it
there
might
is a result in our favor, but I kind of feel it's going to be a draw.
But I don't think it'll be a draw because City is going to be all guns blazing. City is going to be more
it'll
pissed
be
now.
very interesting
And
to see how Arsenal set up for that game I mean
yeah,
Yeah.
do
I
they
would be
choose to
I
sit back and then counter, which has
I
not
would
been
not
their
be
Yeah.
strong
surprised.
suit this season? I mean, they'd much rather
We've
play
never
out.
been good at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I will be very surprised if Arsenal go with that approach. Like,
But
Yeah.
didn't
because
Arsenal do that in the reverse fixture at Emirates?
but it's
Or
not
were they
worked for them
very
this season. What I think Arteta will try to stick with what's worked for him this season, and then what worked against Liverpool. They weren't sitting back against Liverpool, were they?
And
They were
when
playing their
to
natural
your
game.
point, correct. To your point, Riku, the goal of Martinelli was such in that fixture at
mm,
Emirates.
mm,
It was on a counter and all of that, but I think throughout the game we were pretty much there. I think City does this really well, where they let teams attack, absorb, and they're very dynamic in that sense. I think
mm.
so. It'll be. I don't think we'll sit back because it has dearly costed us. I remember, I think last to last season Newcastle game or towards the end game weeks, we tried to do
It does
something
cost you.
fancy. It
Uh-huh.
costs us heavily.
It
So I
it
think
might cost you. But I don't
yeah,
think City does it really well. I think
I mean,
City is much more vulnerable if they're sitting back. Because even this
yeah,
time around, in the second half, there was a phase where City was, I think that 50th minute, 55th minute to 70th minute when Salah came on, and I think they after the goal, after Edison went off, City, switched off for a few minutes and they were soaking in the pressure, and then Diaz was doing some random footwork, but it was also working. Sometimes it was not working. But then I don't think they're really good sitting back, and that might be something of a weakness for Guardiola. And
hmm.
surprisingly, Rodri switched off this game. I was like, why Rodri? Because I've never seen Rodri so
I think
off color. Yeah,
all of the City team, in my opinion, the entire City team was off color, especially their midfield and attack. De Bruyne, he had a couple of good passes, but mostly if we see his passes, his shots were all stray. I think I read a stat where he had only 50% pass completion rate in the
but it
Liverpool
was
half.
also it
That's
50%
was
for
also
horrible.
Kevin De Bruyne.
So De Bruyne, yeah,
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, it also credit to Liverpool defense and their
no.
yeah,
midfield bearing of Endo and
No,
Soboslai.
it was only Endo. Bhai, what a game he had, yeah.
So
I
that is
mean,
why you're wearing a Japan kit. Makes sense now.
dude, I mean, who knew about that guy? Like 12 months back, where was he playing? He was playing in
use
Stuttgart
Stuttgart.
or somewhere.
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart, he
Exactly.
was playing in Stuttgart. The guy is called because Caicedo deal has gone off, and like the first day Klopp meets him, Klopp goes like, "We need you, bro. You are the guy," and he said it on camera. And he didn't have a great start with the season. I think he was slightly getting used to the pace, something that had happened with Fabinho. But wow, he's come in clutch at the right time. I mean, bhai, matlab, he bossed the entire game. McAllister, I think he's used to the Premier League pace. He knows how to
yeah,
play these games. Soboslai, he didn't have to do so much of defending during the game, but Endo had a really huge responsibility. Also, given that Kwanzaa was behind him, he had Bradley behind him. So I mean, a lot of responsibility fell upon him, and what a game he had. He was probably the second best player on that pitch after Van Dijk. But yeah, what a game! What a game!
similarly for City? Who do you think was the best player for them?
For them,
I guess Foden
uh,
was
I
good,
I think
but
yeah,
I
relatively. Who else? Who
I'll
else?
give you the answer. It was
yeah, go
the
on.
referee and VAR. Those were the two.
Oh,
I mean,
are we
Good,
talking
good
about that?
shout.
yeah. I mean,
But
since we
okay,
are on this topic, let's talk about that penalty call,
yes.
man. What are your
So
Oh man.
thoughts?
on the count of three, should we do this? On the count of three, we say yes or no penalty. I don't
Yes,
know.
let's do it. Let's
Okay,
do it.
Okay.
really? Okay. Three, two, one. Yes.
Yes.
What
Yes,
the-
obviously. I mean, how is that not a pen, yaar? Matlab, I don't get it. I mean, it's impossible. He's kicked you on your chest. I
Yeah,
mean, whatever. The guy might have had stud marks to prove that he was like kicked. I mean,
yeah,
what is VAR doing? I mean, how can
yeah.
you not say that that's a clear and obvious error? What was the rationale? I still don't know. What was the rationale behind saying that it was not a clear and obvious error by the
Well,
referee?
their justification for that
That,
was Doku got the ball first,
तो क्या
and
मतलब मुंह पे मारो उड़ा दूं भाई मतलब
so
and then he got the ball first. His leg was still not that high. I mean, if you see, McAllister is a short guy, and it hit him on the stomach, not really on the chest. It was the
it
stomach.
hit him here.
No,
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 it hit him here.
it hit him thoda
It hit
niche
him here.
because Doku was just retracting his foot when the contact happened. And the VAR's point of view was he got the ball. It was a 50-50 thing and not really good enough to overturn into a penalty call. I think, as Shahan would say in this situation, they were influenced by the sky blue jersey and the oil money. But I think it would have been a very big call to give at the what 96, 97th minute it was
90. That was 98 plus. Again,
That
98
was,
returning
plus.
yeah,
the.
that was
So
Yeah, yeah,
like
8 plus.
the last kick of the game was not even on the ball. It was on, it was on his chest.
yeah, so that was the
But I do get
VAR's
it.
point of view. I don't.
Hmm.
I honestly don't. I mean, if you've got your foot raised that high, and you could see it on Doku's face, he knew it was a foul. Like when the camera panned to him, he was like,
Yeah.
"Shit, I'm in trouble." That meme, chuckles, I'm in danger. That was Doku. कि गया भाई अब तो पेप टकला मेरे को इतना पीटेगा ड्रेसिंग रूम में खत्म अब तो मैं बट फिर ऑफ कोर्स माइकल ऑलिवर केम इन क्लच
But
And
I
Grealish's comments were another thing. Where he was like, "Oh, brilliant job! It proves why he's the best ref in the world." I was like, "What?
yeah
What the hell?"
did he say that?
Yeah, he said something similar where he was like, I think he was like, it
no
shows it's a high pressure
yeah
situation. He did a good
I
job.
don't know it was Grealish or it was Nathan Ake but some one of the
Nathan
City
Some
Ake.
players I think it was
one of
Nathan
Nathan
the
Ake.
City
Ake
players,
and he said that it
probably.
shows his character that in such a high pressure situation
And
in
in
such a big
Anfield.
With
game
Anfield
in
crowd.
Anfield crowd and in front of Anfield crowd to give that kind of a decision, it shows character and confidence. I mean,
Fuck off.
ठीक है भाई तारीफ भी कर दी कल बैंक अकाउंट में पैसे भी आ जाएंगे कोई बात नहीं
I understand Michael Oliver's situation at that moment, okay, but you've implemented VAR to support referees at that in those critical junctures of a game, right? And
Yep.
how can you fail as a technology? I mean, your job is to be an unbiased, neutral implementation of tech, so that the referees who are somewhat you might get biased or might have some errors in their judgment can reverse their judgments and make a more fruitful game for all, right?
so as we
So,
But
have
that's the thing.
seen as we have seen this entire season the theme has been the VAR is there to give support to the referees they won't
in
overturn a
what way?
call they would try to stay with the referee's call as long as it's not blatant or clear or obvious according to their own subjective definitions to every VRs.
I don't
But
get it at all. I
they'll
don't
try
get it.
to always see कि अच्छा on-field decision क्या था. That is always taken into account first. It is
Hmm,
as
hmm,
we did an episode by the way, guys. If you haven't check it out about technology in cricket and football. But
hmm,
Yeah.
then uh, talking about that, so basically, it's that call in cricket, when even the cameras can't show it properly whether a player has caught a ball, not caught a ball, if the run out
hmm,
is clear or not. In that
hmm.
cases, like they always rely on the on-field decision. So VAR has been something like that this season. They've been like, अच्छा on-field call अगर ये है, is it that big
Then
of an error? Is it that obvious or is it debatable? If it's debatable,
Yeah,
yeah.
even thoda sa bhi, if it's debatable, they'll stick with the referee's call.
yeah,
So that
yeah.
has been the
Yeah,
battle
in
this
football
season.
that true.
It is not really that.
It's not helping the game. It's
It's
not
not.
helping the game at
How
all.
then?
At
Why is
all.
it even there?
Yeah, don't be there. इससे
Huh.
अच्छा ठीक है ना Michael Oliver, yeah, good, grape.
In
But
my
then,
in my opinion, VAR should be like if it's debatable, then you send the referee to the screen.
yeah, yeah.
If it's
And
debatable,
and And then also the referee has to have a choice. And I would be 100% supportive of Michael Oliver sticking to his decision. I would
as long
not,
as
Yeah.
he's had a look
At
at the
least
ball.
review
yeah,
it.
but he's reviewed it and he's made after that also it's like giving a second opportunity to the ref. Okay, now you review your decision and you can still stick to, don't get, that confirmation of that, you have to conform to what has happened in the other games and you have to reverse your decision. No, you don't have to. If it's a ref call, it's a ref call, and I'll be okay with that.
I'm not
But
sure
Yep.
about broadcast in India, but broadcast here in Australia, whenever there's such a big VR call, they release all the audio clippings, the communication between
Right.
referees.
The
during
on-field
So
ref and VAR ref.
always, every game. So I get to
during the
watch
game.
that. No, no, no. After the
No, no,
game,
no. After
Ah,
the
they
game.
post it. And if you hear all of those calls, you'll see that the VAR only sends the referee to the monitor if they think it is clear and obvious and they want to overturn it. They'll send the ref to the monitor. The ref goes there, and the VAR is constantly in his ears saying, "ये देख यहाँ गलती हुई थी. I think यहाँ लगी है, तो you should reverse the decision."
Overturn
but
it.
But
you were
that the
biasing the
VAR is
referee, na?
not
Yeah.
supposed to
You
say
are
that.
already influencing a ref.
Huh.
You're
What's the
already
point then?
influencing a ref. Yeah.
All you should say is go have a look and make your own decision.
And just
Yes.
mute, like shut up. Like let the ref
Yeah.
look at it, right?
They'll show them every angle, talk them through it, ki what they think, ki okay, as you can see from this angle, it has hit his hand here, his hand is away from the body, you should overturn your decision. And the referee says, yep, 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 should overturn it. And then he just goes and overturns it. It's as simple as that. And when you've
And
got
initially
three
VAR
people
was not
sitting
that.
in the VAR room telling that in your ear ki you should overturn it, even if
No,
you
whether
think कि नहीं करना चाहिए, you're the ultimate power by the way. You're the ref of the game. Even if you think कि नहीं, in real time it was different. They are just seeing images in real time. It was different, and I think कि there is debatable. It is debatable, and I think I'm right. So I'll stick to my decision. But if you got three
Yeah.
people in a year saying कि you should change your decision, what do? You have to change your decision. You're
ऑन फील्ड
outnumbered
रेफरी
there.
हटा दो, मैं तो बोल ही रहा हूँ, मैं तो
You're
हटा
yeah,
दो भाई.
outnumbered there, na?
हाँ भाई.
But yeah,
cool.
नितिन
Um,
मेनन को भेजो भाई, नितिन मेनन.
वो ऐसा
ए
हाफ
भाई,
लाइन पर खड़ा
ए
रह
बट
के देखेगा मैच. कुछ भी हो जाए थर्ड
ऋषभ
एम्पायर.
ऋषभ पंत आएगा ऐसा डग आउट से ये करने के लिए, भाई वापस आ जाओ, वापस आ जाओ. But yeah, kudos to the
on,
first Indian origin referee who
yes,
officiated the game
It's
of
mostly.
Mr.
South
Sunny
Asian
Gill.
descent.
Mr. Sunny
Yes.
Gill. So
He was
Mr. Sunny
criticized
Gill.
for signing autographs at halftime, right?
Yeah, Mr. Mike Dean.
he was, and then
Yes.
Mike Dean really just slammed him, saying कि
Yeah.
Yeah.
you do
Classic
that
white guy
when you're
move.
going out for training, you do that after the game or whatever. You still got a half to play. You can't go out there sign autographs when you got a game to look forward to. But Mike Dean, chup,
Ah, wait.
chup.
How much of racial discrimination did you face, Mike Dean? I mean, can I talk about your bald head? I mean, whatever.
He'll
Yeah,
probably get police protection the next day outside his home. So,
yeah, probably.
yeah.
Classic white guy. Whatever.
Anyways,
Well, on that white guy note, let's move to our next game, which is Arsenal Brentford. And the reason why I say that is
भाई
because I want to
क्या
start off.
सेगमेंट ढूंढा भाई वाइट गाय बेन वाइट वाह गाइस
Yeah,
अब यू हैव टू अप्रिशिएट दिस क्या
भाई मैं
सेगमेंट
डर
ढूंढा
गया था.
thank
मैं
you.
डर
भाई
गया था रघु कौन सा रेसिस्ट जोक बोलने वाला है. मैं डर
No,
गया था भाई. आई
लाइक
आई वाज
good.
चैनल
दिस
कैंसल
क्लोज.
आज चैनल
मैं
बंद
प्ला, मैं प्लान कर ही रहा था भाई, क्या करूंगा मैं पॉडकास्ट के बाद में. ओ
No,
भाई.
but good segue. Thank you, Google. But what about, yes, sir, thank you.
नहीं,
But what
ये is
about
turning into this.
that?
But yeah,
But
हाँ,
let's
go ahead.
start off, man. I want to start off by talking about Ben White, right? Like he got two assists. Overall, a great game. But I don't know what's happened to him after that Dubai break and trip. I think he scored a goal against West Ham as well. He's been
Hmm.
contributing in a lot of attacks, and also to couple with the likes of Rice and Havertz in the Brentford game. Yeah, what do you guys make of this? Let me be a bit unbiased and ask you guys first. My job was to find the segue, guys. So
yes yes
Racially. Hmm.
yes, racially, yeah,
no yeah he's been a different beast I think even last game he got a goal and an assist right
goal.
he got an assist
I
as
think
well I
he's
thought but whatever like he's been
yeah,
yeah I mean he's really found himself in that role that he's playing there I
yeah,
mean given the kind of football Arsenal has been playing, I mean, any player is supposed to thrive in that role, to be honest. The form that they are, the team, I'm saying as a team, the
yeah,
form the team
yeah.
is in right now. And yeah, kudos to him, man. He's really turned up.
Yeah.
Really good performance. What are your thoughts on it? You can be biased, रहो, कोई नहीं judge कर रहा.
Yeah.
मैं कहूँगा
I really think Ramsdale turned up for the opportunity. Look, he can get some hate for the error. But he did, and look, I know he's very dramatic, camera angles and all of that. He makes saves for the cameras, but he saved our ass at a lot of instances as well. So I think overall, not the best Ramsdale performance, of course, like definitely not, far from the best. But I think it was good to see him get the job done. I think,
I don't
and
know if you guys are the same broadcast and same commentators that I have, but the Australian commentators, as soon as he conceded that goal, the commentator goes, "That is the reason why this kid is on the bench." And I was like,
ओ भाई
"Whoa!" On
ओ
air,
भाई
live on air, he's saying that. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like he is no filter, right? But to be
but guys, I
honest,
mean, to be honest, Ramsdale saved you in the second half. Huh?
yeah,
That Tony could
oh
shot
my
could have been a
god,
wonder goal.
what a strike
That
that
could
yeah,
have
yeah,
been
was!
a
yeah,
What a strike that
and
was!
even that free header from who was it? Nathan Collins? That free header that he got
yeah,
in the
Yeah,
box in the second half. He could have easily scored from that, but what a amazing! I mean, I would say, see, given any keeper, and a keeper is a very messed up, very dicey role. I would say, in any team. After such a long hibernation, you come back and you will have shaky moments, no doubt. I mean, Allison has it every 5 games, but and now Raghav is going to roast me saying that yeah, Allison gada usi ka isliye wo pula raha hai. But then yeah, I mean you will have shaky moments, and he took some time to make that decision on where to square off that ball. But I mean, credit to Visa as well. I mean, he was agile
yeah,
enough to close him down, and it's all about pressing. It's not, see, that's what I say. Very basic, gameplay. It's not that you should always press. You should press the right people as well. That's more important, and pressing the right
yeah,
people at the right time is something which is more critical than playing pressing for 90 minutes. I mean,
yeah,
there's a difference over there. Visa was not. I mean, he was smart enough to do that. But then, yeah, I don't think if Brentford would have won or even gotten a point out of that game, it would have been a weird result. But
yeah. I
kudos to
mean, it
Arsenal,
would have
man.
been shambolic for Arsenal, but you say that if
absolutely.
Brentford got that point or a win, but if you see why people are blaming Ramsdale is because his mistake got them to that position, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If that mistake hadn't happened, Arsenal were leading, they would have had they could have probably scored one more and gotten away with the game. But it put his entire team under pressure, right? And
Hmm.
that is a
Hmm.
very schoolboy error where he has several free men there to pass to. And he's just taken his time, and you could see that he was lacking confidence. That moment there, it showed that he was lacking confidence and probably trying to be a bit too cheeky, bit too smart. And
yeah.
that's why he's getting
But
all the flack
again,
that,
But
okay, he made
there
good
was a
saves to redeem himself, and he did redeem himself later in the game, but he's getting all the flack because he put his team under that situation, under that pressure. I mean, if Kai
yeah.
Havertz hadn't scored that goal in the 86th minute, would Raghu be here happy saying कि चलो उसने at least save तो किया? नहीं, he'd be here slamming Ramsdale कि भाई तेरे वजह से हमारा 2 पॉइंट गया, and because of you we are not
mm,
top of the table. So okay, he did
yeah,
redeem himself, but he did put his team under a lot of pressure, and Kai Havertz came in clutch. Like on that note,
yeah.
But
Raghu, you were singing the famous Kai Havertz chant before we started recording.
Yes,
How do
yes.
you
It was
feel about
Samina,
that?
Waka, Waka, Sam, 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. No, but he was amazing, and he has been amazing since the start of this year and even before. But he's really started to shine in his dynamic role, and it's almost so fluid. Like just watching Arsenal play lately has just been so fluid. Where at times I'm like, I think anyone can play anywhere. It's just everyone's been given probably a free hand, but they're doing it all so well, and it's all part of a bigger plan by Arteta. So it's really a masterclass in terms of his game management, and also in terms of how the players have adopted. Like even look at, like for example, Kivior, with Tomiyasu out and now he's back, but how he has held the fort so far is, I think, not spoken about that much. But Kivior has been
Yeah.
playing tremendously well for us, right? So yeah, happy with the result. To your point, maybe I would have blamed Ramsdale a bit more if this was a draw. But even if you keep that error aside, I think we did have good enough chances. So I would also give part of the blame to our attackers or strikers
Yeah.
in not closing in, and scoring, closing chances. But yeah, you're right that really he redeemed himself, and then Kai Havertz saved him in a way by scoring that goal.
I mean, talking about
Cool.
Kai
Yeah.
Havertz, I mean, I think the way he's playing at Arsenal right now, the role he has, you mentioned fluidity. I think that
Yeah.
is where he shines. If you see his Bayer Leverkusen days, that is the kind of role
Yeah.
he had over there also. CAM, moving to the right, moving to the left. At Chelsea, we were playing him as number nine,
Yeah. You guys
who's
were
just
probably
standing
restricting
there,
him.
who's just standing there and expecting crosses to come in.
Yeah.
After we spent 120 million on Romelu Lukaku to do that thing, we still played Kai Havertz in that role. So I think
Yeah.
that's where we failed to unlock his potential. And as much as it hurts to say this, but he's finding his feet at Arsenal now. I mean, I'd really
Yeah.
hoped, I'd really prayed that he would flop at Arsenal, which was true for the first half of the season, first few games.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, I mean, he's the player at Arsenal right now that we wanted to him to be at Chelsea.
At Chelsea. Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
First half of the season he was Kai Havertz because he was dropped. Sorry,
रिको को कॉल से कैसे निकालूं भाई एक सेकंड
sorry. बहुत अच्छा लगा बहुत अच्छा.
Cancelled.
But guys, do you feel? But tell me one thing that if Arsenal is not playing FA Cup, is Chelsea playing FA Cup?
यस
Oh, that's the reason. Sorry.
That's
Information error.
we could still
yeah.
end up with more trophies than Arsenal.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Wait, they only have a wait. Porto won the game, right? Champions
Yeah,
League.
they
It's
got a
tonight.
big tie coming up tonight.
Tonight.
Big
Oh,
tie.
Yes.
भाई आज अगर चैंपियंस लीग से एग्जिट हो गया भाई बस.
Shut up, Riku.
अबे देखो
Hey,
Then you're
करना
not
चाहिए
winning any
चैंपियंस लीग
trophy.
से एग्जिट हो गया तो वो लोग लीग पे ज्यादा फोकस करेंगे.
भाई मैं बोल रहा हूँ भाई लिख ले भाई 90% सिटी हराने वाला है एटिहाड में भाई. There is no way Arsenal is winning at Etihad. No way.
Whatever it is, I mean, I
I think
think
we're stealing a point.
लिवरपूल
You're
should
not
just
stealing a point. You're not. You're not.
लिवरपूल
You're
should
not.
just focus on winning the यूरोपा लीग क्योंकि वही औकात है लीग में से.
Oh,
ठीक है.
तू
Slavia Praha.
हाँ. I
भाई
mean,
स्लाटा प्राहा क्या होता है भाई.
I mean,
I
you
don't
स्पार्टा
know
see,
प्राहा.
which. Sparta. I said
Sparta.
Slavia. I don't know why. That's also a team, no?
Yeah, Slavia
There
है
are
Prague.
two.
हाँ,
Yeah.
स्लाविया प्राहा. हाँ.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
Which Arsenal, which Arsenal played for 6 years when they were not playing Champions League. Oh,
Yes.
but I think
That's how I remember.
Luis Diaz showed this weekend that his level is of playing against Slavia Praha only. So I think you guys should focus on Europa League. बच्चों के साथ अभी वही जीत सकते हो.
गूगल में लुइस डियाज के बाप जैसे उसका किडनैप हुआ था ना वैसे तेरे को किडनैप करा दूंगा मैं. ठीक है.
देख लो भाई.
डार्क हो गया.
We have proof now that if something happens to me, this guy is to blame. Okay.
Who is to blame? Yeah.
Yes. चलो
कोलंबिया भेज दूंगा गूगल तेरे को मैं.
बस हो गया अभी. Arsenal Brentford game done. Moving on to the next game.
Guys, good game, guys. Good show. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Yay.
ठीक है. Finally a win. Finally I get to celebrate,
Brag.
brag and celebrate on this podcast.
A
So
win. Yeah.
ए
Okay.
चुप रहे ठीक है.
Sorry.
जीते ना.
I was just looking at the table and I had to scroll a lot to find Chelsea, but I think they really played well.
I mean, if you look at that table, you'll see that Newcastle is just one place ahead of us. So it was a proper mid-table clash last night.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
mean, for me,
मतलब.
so for me, the game
Hmm.
was Australian time में this morning. Today morning was
Yeah.
the game, and I had to go to work after the game. So
Yeah.
even more than me, my subordinates at work were happier. कि चलो इसकी टीम जीती है, ये खुश मूड अच्छे मूड में आया आज काम पे, आज सही से निकलेगा. आई वॉज प्रिपेयर्ड कि भाई आज न्यूकासल से हारेंगे, आज काम पे जाके सबकी बट फिर चलो जीत गए, मूड अच्छा, दिन अच्छा, सही.
Yeah, but I mean, but I think I, yesterday Adam Sandler was at the game. Or why was he at the game
He's a
yesterday?
Chelsea fan, bro. Adam Sandler,
Hmm.
Matthew McConaughey,
He
McConaughey.
likes comedy, guys. He likes comedy.
Odd.
ये जोक के लिए रिको इसलिए वो ढूंढ के निकाले कि एडम
Yes,
सैंडलर गया था गेम पे.
that
this
that was the bait.
this was better than the Ben White segue. Come on, no way.
But no, no, let's talk
Uh,
about the Chelsea performance. Then
yeah,
I'll
I have
also
a
start
question.
off like Raghu
Yeah, go
and
on.
be
Yes,
unbiased now. I am also unbiased, basically.
yes,
ठीक है?
Very unbiased.
yes.
Very, very.
Very unbiased. What did you guys make of that game?
I mean, to be honest, yeah, I didn't watch I watched the highlights and read up a bit about the game, but I think as a threat itself, probably Chelsea weren't clear winners. Like, of course, it was kind of a scrape through. And Newcastle were pretty much there in the game. It wasn't, even though I know you guys took a 3-1 lead, and then they at the 90th minute they scored. I think it was Jacob Murphy. So,
Yeah.
but the point is, it was still close, right?
That
And I
has
think
been Chelsea's signature move this season, where we'll take a lead, we'll build a 2 goal lead, 3 goal lead, और फिर लास्ट के 10 मिनट में हम ऐसा कंसीड करके खेलेंगे कि भाई अब तो खत्म भाई. मतलब unless they give their fans a heart attack in the last 10 minutes of a win,
it's
it's not a
not a
Chelsea
good
performance. It's not a Chelsea performance. So, I mean, you're winning 3-1, you're bossing the game. Out of nowhere, Jacob Murphy comes
you
and scores
concede.
that screamer. And like
Yeah,
Kukurea, like an idiot, just dives into that challenge when there was no need for a challenge, leaves the defense wide open, and then Murphy scores a screamer. As soon as Kukurea lost that tackle, I knew ये तो गोल है. यहाँ से ये गोल है क्योंकि वो अपना नसीब ही वैसा है कि अब तो ये गोल है और ठीक होएगा. Like that was an insane goal by Jacob Murphy.
yeah, but like, do you think it was? I think it was more of a relieving performance for Chelsea, to be very honest. A lot of Chelsea
I'll
fans,
tell
कि
you
भाई
what I
मतलब
made of the game. When I watched the game after the result, I was thinking about the game and I was like, this is a classic Manchester United performance from the last 2, 3 years. Where you'll
hey,
play
oh,
shit, you'll play
Wow,
ish, but
how
you'll
did
still get
Govic
the
just,
results.
attack United?
wow.
That has been United for the last
how
couple of
how
seasons.
new how new is this attack? Wow.
This is not at all Google. Oh my God, United? नहीं नहीं.
Like, this has been the theme for United season for the last season, this season, year before that, always since Alex Ferguson left, where they would play shit. लाइक गेम के बाद राघव वुड बी लाइक ये गधा वो गधा क्या खेले ये बट हम 3 पॉइंट लेके चले गए. दैट इज द थिंग. दैट वाज दिस परफॉर्मेंस वाज एग्जैक्टली लाइक दैट. आई मीन न्यूकासल टू बी ऑनेस्ट had a few chances, but we had more chances. I mean, if Sterling had even a pea-sized brain in his skull, we could have won at least by a much bigger margin than that. But he's just
Yeah,
so selfish and so stupid. And by the way, Gareth Southgate was at the game yesterday. So, I mean, Sterling
of
made
course he
his
had to
case कि
be.
Oh,
भाई मेरे को समर में छुट्टी चाहिए, मैं जर्मनी नहीं जा रहा यूरोस खेलने, मेरे को छुट्टी चाहिए.
Oh,
ही
the opposite
वो
happened.
हाँ,
Okay.
वो लीव एप्लीकेशन पर स्टैम्प मार के लेके गया कल स्टेडियम से कि मेरे को खेलना ही नहीं है इस बार. That was the
मैं
kind
नहीं
of
जा रहा
performance.
हेंडरसन को लेके जा भाई हेंडरसन
हाँ,
बस.
that was the performance he put in yesterday, to be honest. So, but
And I mean, ठीक है. Credit to Chelsea for finally showing up, and also there's some optimism I would say before the Leicester City game now on Sunday. But and do you think? Okay, wait. Let me ask. Do you think FA Cup is your best bet of getting something out of this season?
I think Carabao Cup was our best bet, but we let that go. I mean, Rashford just stole it from us in the 118th minute, and Poch just gave him that extra support to do that. But
I
anyway,
I still feel FA Cup can be your redemption, but then
it is, it
and I
is.
don't think
To be honest,
because I think
no, they are.
if we win a trophy
I
at the end of this season, that is going to be massive. Not only
Okay,
for
which will be
Pochettino, not only
wi-
for the players, but for the owners who are under so much pressure right now. And I think
okay.
there have been reports over the last week that the owners have come out and admitted we started this on the wrong foot. We had no idea
Hmm.
how the finances of this club work. And
Hmm.
but then again, to their defense, the guys who were handling Chelsea's sale when Abramovich was sanctioned, that banker, the Rain Group,
Yeah,
guy who
yeah.
was handling, he came out yesterday in an interview, and he said that if Boli and his consortium hadn't arrived at that point and placed that bid, Chelsea would have gone into administration.
Okay,
Wow.
easily,
It was at that
easily.
point Chelsea could not function even 2 weeks more without the
Yeah,
investment coming in from them, without them buying
man,
the club.
that's huge.
So we could have
For
been
a club
we
like Chelsea,
exactly going into administration means instant point deductions. You are straight away out of the league. The club is basically
yeah,
finished. So
jeez.
It would have taken
any
you years to come back, but yeah.
yeah, like no matter how much
He
ever
saved
the
you guys.
fans
Yeah,
criticize him, he's the one who saved our club. I mean,
no doubt,
the
no
only
doubt.
reason we were put in that position was because of Putin, but we can get to that some other time.
And that's kind of an inconsequential war right now. But anyway,
Yeah,
but
political
yeah,
podcast, nahi
let's
guys.
not. Okay, peace, Modi ji. But then, हाँ मैं क्या
मोदी
बोल
जी
रहा
एंड
था?
प्लीज सेम
या
सेंटेंस नहीं नहीं
खत्म
नहीं
भाई.
बाकी
Okay.
शान कैंसिल नहीं करा रहे हैं शान काट देना प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज
हाँ.
Okay,
But
but
my
you
point
guys
was,
have Leicester City.
yeah, yeah. So how do you feel about that? Because I think, okay, my question was that uh, a Europa League spot or a FA Cup?
Europa League spot is clearly out of reach for us now. I mean, yeah, we've
Yeah.
got a game in
Wow.
hand. We've got a game in hand, and if we win
Yeah,
that, we are ninth. And
Okay.
I, I didn't watch the table. How far are we from Europa League spot?
you are 39 and Tottenham is 53. Tottenham is fifth spot, like Europa
But sixth, who's sixth?
spot.
Sixth will
40,
get playoffs, huh?
United,
And how much do they
Oh,
get?
oh.
United 47. So
39 and
you guys
47, so
are,
8 points. And
yeah,
we've got a game in
yeah,
hand. So that's basically five
yeah.
points. So yeah, we could give it a shot,
Doable
It's
and
but
United.
but
So
there is a very important thing in play that has not been talked about a lot is Chelsea's financials. We have
okay.
scraped through and been compliant with Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. But the way
yeah,
our current finances are, we do not comply with UEFA's profit and sustainability rules. So if we enter a UEFA competition, we face
Hmm.
sanctions.
you come under.
We face sanctions. If we play
So
Champions, if we play
wait, do you
Champions
think the
League or
Chelsea
Europa
is
or Conference
intentionally
next
losing?
season, there is a very high chance. There is a very high chance that we face consequences. They might get a transfer ban. They might get fined. And to be honest, when you are already not profitable, you don't want a fine. So it will be very difficult for us as a club financially if we make it to a European competition, which will
It
happen if
reminds
we
me
win the
of,
FA Cup as well. So I think the owners, the management, we have tried to write off this season. We do not want anything from this season, which doesn't go down well with fans. But then, to be honest, it is the only way forward for us.
But do you really think he can do that? Do you really think a club will say that just to save myself from financial fair play and hashtag City because they don't give a shit about anything about financial?
yeah,
But then, but do you really think they will ruin a season just because of money? I don't think so. That's
and
kind of far-fetched.
after spending so much.
I
Yeah,
mean,
kind of far-fetched.
yeah, but
That's just conspiracy theory. Yeah, 9/11. Sorry.
we can still make it to a UEFA competition and comply with UEFA's rules. But for that, we would have to sell all of our academy products this summer before 30th
Hmm.
of July or whatever is the deadline. Before that
That too
financial
you
year.
have to because sustainability, yeah,
Ah,
sustainability rules you have to,
so
get it sorted.
we'll still comply with Premier League sustainability rules, but you do not comply
Hmm.
with UEFA sustainability rules, which restrict it a lot. which, as I was reading today,
Mm.
Premier League is looking to adopt as well. From going on further, they are looking to adopt the same rules as UEFA. So
Mm.
if we do not change it, if we do not rectify, we are in big trouble. As simple as that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And
that,
and again, the
as a fan, I
again,
would love
mm.
an FA Cup win and a Europa League spot. But
Cute.
FA Cup win guarantees us Champions League football, right?
Yeah,
उंगली
it
से
doesn't
हाथ
guarantee.
मत
No,
पकड़.
FA Cup
yeah,
has
वही
direct
मतलब.
qualifications to UCL, no? Winners of the FA Cup,
No, no,
or is
no.
it Europa?
It
No.
you play the playoffs, I guess, or something like that,
Playoffs,
because
no?
you'll be the.
But that's the thing.
Uh,
We'll be the last club from the country to qualify.
I think so, but I'm not sure about that because this. I think, yeah, I think we should
Yeah, some
let
in
people.
podcast research.
Yeah, or else this can be post podcast comment debate or whatever that can
Yeah.
happen.
Let us know in the
Yeah,
comments.
yeah, viral हो गया मैं तो.
Chalo, chalo. But let's move
But
on now. We've covered
Yes,
the three
on
big games.
speaking,
Yeah, Raghu, you can continue.
yes, speaking of Europa or European competition, we have a club which is not Tottenham but Aston Villa, who are doing really well.
favorite club, Tottenham.
Yes.
Mm.
No, they are going to be facing Ajax in the Conference League next. But speaking of the league, they are just 2 points ahead of Tottenham,
Mm-hmm.
and currently sitting at the fourth spot, and then Tottenham is fifth. And I think and Tottenham has a game in hand. So,
Mm-hmm.
where do you guys see Tottenham finish the last 10 games? Like, where do you see them finish the league this season?
I mean, effectively, they are going to decide the season. I mean, end of
They
the
are
day.
going to decide the winners, but they're also going to
Yeah,
be in a competition themselves for the fourth
yeah.
spot.
It's an insane place to be. So they're playing City first, right? Or Arsenal first.
Arsenal first, I
They're
think.
playing they're playing Arsenal,
Uh,
City, Liverpool back to back. Okay, and
yeah,
Liverpool will have the again. See, I think Liverpool.
they're
That's why
playing
it's
City
such.
first.
Oh, City first. Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's,
Yeah.
it's City, Arsenal, Liverpool. But again, see, that's why
Yes.
these are the few reasons I think that Liverpool is much better place than the other two in the title race. Slightly better place, not much better place. But then because there are fixtures which are in their favor now because now City is going to be pissed. They're going to go all out at Etihad. They have this Tottenham fixtures coming up because that is going to decide who is going to be second and I mean first, second, third. So they're going to be the deciding factor. And also Liverpool is playing Tottenham at home at Anfield, right? And the other two are away fixtures, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
So
Arsenal is away.
Arsenal is away, and I think City is also away. So again,
Yes.
so that's where I mean they. I think Tottenham will be a huge deciding factor. But again, this game, the last game, Madison, the way he jumped back in form, amazing game. 4-0. Aston Villa hasn't really been to be very honest, they've been amazing. It's been kind of a miracle season for them. I don't think I
Yeah,
had
but
expected them to be.
against the big teams, they failed to turn up. But they
It's all
won the
right.
rest of
It's
their
all right.
fixtures. They've made it
I
so
mean,
far, but
look at their squad. They look at their squad, man. I mean, come on.
they
They
don't
are
really have a bad squad, to be honest. They are a
they
proper
do they don't.
Europa League squad.
But
I would say that.
exactly,
They are a Europa League
exactly. It's
squad.
it's like a Aston Villa, Brighton, Newcastle
Uh,
is the European League
but
band, I would say. But the point is, they're going against the might of Liverpool, City, Arsenal. Okay, not them, but at least the might of Chelsea, Tottenham, United,
you can remove
Newcastle,
us from that
Brighton.
conversation, please.
Come on, Chelsea is a talented team. It's just that Chelsea is not playing cohesively well. That's the only problem. So I wouldn't discount
But in
Chelsea from
भाई
being a
भाई
Aston,
good
फिर से
squad.
बोल मैं रिकॉर्ड करता हूँ.
They are a good team. They're a good set of players. I mean, you have Mudrik. Yeah, I mean, Mudrik is good. Jackson is good.
Oh,
Palmer is good.
I
These guys
forgot
are
to talk
these
about
guys are not.
Mudrik's goal yesterday, man. I was gonna do a 10-minute praise and a standing ovation for his goal, but I forgot to do that. Chalo, continue.
But yeah, I
you
mean,
can write to
I,
him on Instagram. Maybe you'll be called up for a challenge.
But
But
the funniest part was today morning I saw a post by Bleacher Report Football where they put out this graphic of Modric, like scored a goal or something, but he's wearing last season's jersey, which shows that they had it prepared since last season to post when he scores. I mean, like, oh God, was that? मैं बोला भाई ये तो कुछ लैग में फंक्शन कर रहे हैं. I
Mm,
mean, they expected him to score last season. उसके लिए graphics ready रखा था. I mean, okay, whatever. It was too fun. But
आगे
yeah,
बढ़. Aston Villa
but
guys.
speaking of no, speaking of Aston Villa, I don't think they have a bad team, man.
Yeah,
They have Ollie Watkins, they have
they've got the World
Tillemans.
Cup winning keeper.
Oh
They've
yes,
got
yeah,
everyone,
favorite
guys.
ex-Arsenal
They got
World
Douglas
Cup
Lewis. They
milling
got
keeper.
Ollie
Yes,
Watkins in red hot form. They've got
yeah,
so many good players. I mean, yeah, the defense is a bit
but
sus, but
guys,
still,
I'm not denying that. But what I'm saying is that the relative might of the other teams around them,
yeah.
they're doing an amazing job,
You would expect
regardless. I mean, of
United and Tottenham to finish above them usually.
to be comfortably to be
Yeah,
comfortably fourth or fifth right now. But Aston Villa is giving a run for the money, and it's going to be an amazing end to the season for fourth, fifth, sixth as well. Because there's going to be a lot more competition given Tottenham's fixtures, given United's inconsistency throughout the season, and Villa. Yes, they will not show up against, probably not have the greatest of games against the top teams, but they will win the against the smaller sides. I mean, the bottom 10 or something like Chelsea. Okay. But मतलब, they will be going head on against those teams. So I don't think they do have a good enough chance. If they miss out on Champions League, they should be very happy with a Europa League spot if they do get
yeah.
it. And I think that should be their target. That come what may, they shouldn't be dropping um, easy like games which they should be closing, and they shouldn't be losing out on Europa League spot at least for sure.
I don't think they're going to.
yeah. I
I
don't.
think it will be more difficult for
Yeah,
Tottenham to get into that top four, given that they've still got to play Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. And in between all of that,
true.
they play Chelsea at the bridge because we had
But
that
don't you
And
think
fixture
don't
anyway,
postponed.
Villa also has tough fixtures. Villa are left to play us. Arsenal, I think that's a home game for them, or it's at Emirates. They are yet to play Liverpool at home. So they do have a tough run of fixtures coming up for themselves as well.
oh wait, we are playing Liverpool, we are playing Villa away.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, it's you guys away, so it's not at Anfield. It's an away
Oh,
game for Liverpool.
that's a dicey fixture. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the fixture with Arsenal, that's at Emirates, right?
That's
So
still, yeah, that's difficult for Villa then. Yeah, because I don't
yeah,
think right now Emirates is a kind of a fortress again. So, oh wait, Aston
yeah.
Villa Liverpool is very late. I think
It's in
it's
May.
after the Spurs game. So, oh my God, 4th May Spurs Liverpool Spurs, 11th May Aston Villa Liverpool. Not bad.
And when you guys play Aston Villa, we play United.
हाँ, but
That
okay,
should be
United
United. I think.
that वो
Wow.
ठीक है, इनकॉन्सिक्वेंशियल ठीक है, चलता है वो सब गेम आता जाता रहता
वो
है. हमने
यूनाइटेड
कितना
भाई
मतलब
कहाँ से तुम लोगों को
मैनचेस्टर,
पॉइंट गिफ्ट करने को.
भाई मैंने मैनचेस्टर डर्बी के लिए मैंने खाना पीना जल्दी बना लिया भाई. व्हाट अ वेस्ट ऑफ मतलब टाइम भाई. मतलब मैं आराम से खाना बना सकता था.
नहीं नहीं
मतलब क्या था भाई वो गेम.
अबे रेफरी गलती भाई रेफरी गलती.
हाँ, रेफरी गलती. वी आर
Oof.
ऐसा गार्नाचो को खींचा भाई. हाँ.
So what are your final predictions, guys? You think Aston Villa
My
make the top
prediction
four
is
or Tottenham?
no. I'll
My
go for
prediction
Aston Villa
Arsenal.
top four.
Yeah.
Rico, what about
Shit.
Very
you?
very unbiased fan. Prediction for top four between Villa
Villa
Tottenham.
and Tottenham.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go United.
United to make the top four.
Yeah, they might just because Villa
I mean,
Tottenham
they
have a
can. To be honest,
crazier
if
run of
they
fixtures.
go on a good run of results, if they get a good run of results,
That's a
They
good
I
they
shout.
mean,
might
Yeah.
given how
they
United
might.
have been over the past few seasons, how they have been shit the entire season and still scraped through, I wouldn't
Yeah,
put
yeah,
it past them to make the top four. But
they
nine,
just might.
the amount of hate I have inside against United won't let me say that. So I would say I would say Tottenham for top four. I think
Or
Villa are gonna drop points and a few easy games. So I think Tottenham takes the last Champions League spot. I mean, you never know, man.
Maybe.
Even fifth place can get a Champions League spot. So at the end of the day, maybe both will be happy. But
oh yeah.
I think fourth, I think it's gonna be Tottenham. Fifth Villa. यूनाइटेड तो मैं चाहता हूँ भाई 8 9 पे आ जाए और नीचे आ जाए तो बेटर है
Oh, oh. Attack by. But I don't know, I want to discuss this with you guys, but I was just reading this midweek. There was this reel that came up where it says that next season, if a team goes on to play really well, like for example, a top team, right, like City or Liverpool, and they qualify for Champions League, they go on to play, to the end of the CL, they might just play a team like City or a Chelsea might play 70 games in a season,
yeah
given the
because of
Club
the
World
What?
Cup.
change in of the Champions League format and on top of
Yeah.
that we've got a big 32 team Club World Cup starting 2025 or 26. I'm not really
So I
sure.
mean, just 2 weeks gap. Just
So
it's going to be a 2 weeks gap
I can't
after the
even
last game of the season.
imagine this Chelsea team playing in the Club World Cup. We have qualified. So we are
Yeah, you
going to
guys have
play the
qualified.
Club World
Yeah,
Cup. It's going to be a
yeah.
massive 32 team event in the summer, which for me is just inconsequential. It's unnecessary. And it's just FIFA trying to gain money from stupid things. And
Both FIFA and UEFA. Both
yeah,
FIFA and UEFA. I don't think
and to be honest, actually,
what the
today or yesterday it was, I saw a post which there was a journalist who leaked the news that the big six of the Premier League have again entered the chats, conversations, and negotiations for the Super League.
इतनी बार
Oh,
भाई
I mean,
आओ
these
जाओ.
reports keep on coming, but it's it's on the rise again, the news. And to be honest, as a neutral fan, I think why not? If UEFA wants to do the same things with the same amount of games, with
Hmm.
clubs playing
How is it rational?
unnecessary
Yeah, yeah. Agree.
stupid amount of games, so I think why not just be like, oh,
See,
okay, we are done with
I was
UEFA, we're gonna play in a Super League now.
I was anti Super League because UEFA and FIFA was maintaining some amount of sanctity to the game, right? But now it's just going off the radar. It's
it's
just like
bizarre
so.
anyway, no?
Yeah, because now these players are going to play a Euro, right? It's going to be a 1 month, 4 week Euro tournament, right? Then they're going to get a probably like a 3 week break, and then they're
Back
going to come
to
back for
football.
preseason.
Yeah.
Back to football,
Yeah.
preseason के बाद the entire season goes on to could be a 70 game season. Can you like imagine how taxing it is for these players? And I don't get it. So I think the UEFA president midweek he also said that, hey, why don't the leagues convert to only resort to only a one cup season, right? One domestic cup season, which I agree to. But then that is not justifying your decision of making it a 36 team Champions League or whatever.
The
It's
only
not
reason he
making
Yeah.
said
any
no to
sense.
I
Super
mean,
League was that smaller clubs won't get to compete. Smaller clubs won't get
Yeah.
to fight against the big teams. And then you're saying just remove some
exactly. And
competition where the smaller sides have a chance of
have a
doing
chance.
something, of being against a big team and stuff like that.
Like
So,
FA Cup starts way back. Like all the teams
yeah.
that get a chance. So
I mean, but
yeah,
all
I
in
would
all, I
hate to
think
see
it
that.
is a conversation for a different episode. We can do a whole other small episode on this. But yeah, I
Yes.
think that should
Let
be
us
the
know.
end of our episode
Le-
today.
yes, and let us know in the comments if you'd like us to cover more about the Club World Cup.
The Club World Cup, the new
Or
Champions
if
League
you want to see
format.
my beautiful face more often. So,
We don't want to lose subscribers, Rico. Please. Well,
On that
really,
note,
okay. Or
on
should
that
we just
note,
get back? Oh, sorry. I was gonna get controversial, but okay, I'll control myself.
save
on
some
that
for the
note,
Super
thanks
League.
for
सॉरी यार
हाँ,
रघु भाई
on
thanks
that
चार
note,
बार कट
White.
आउट कर दिया
On that
अब
note,
तू
Ben
बोल ले
White.
भाई बोल ले
हाँ, on
Ben.
that note, Ben White.
On that note, I'm going to go watch the Porto game soon. No,
Bro,
but
एक second. I
yes,
got a bad joke, sorry.
मत
विराट
बोल
कोहली
रिको
का फेवरेट विराट कोहली का फेवरेट बेन स्टोक्स रघु का फेवरेट बेन वाइट
जोक भी नहीं था ये तो जोक भी नहीं था रघु ऑन दैट नोट खत्म कर दे
sorry.
भाई एपिसोड मैं कह रहा हूँ.
Yes, on that note, thanks for joining us and thanks for
And
listening
bearing
to
me.
all the jokes. Yes, and please do share, subscribe, and comment, and let us know what you liked, what you hated, and join us for yet another episode coming up next week. Till then,
Raghu's
see you.
Raghu's